superior impact resistance, but can we get it in a +5? So if we go to our 153, no, it doesn't cut, nothing cutting out in that power. It goes to about +4 only. I think.
Plus 3 to, yeah.
+3, alright, so +3,
yep.
and maybe with an anti-reflection coating there might be an option for slightly higher.
Yep.
+4.
+4,
but still not get to
to under
+5.
8.
So we're going, okay, well we want at least moderate impact resistance. What material then can we go to get moderate impact resistance?
1.6.
So we can go, alright, so if we didn't want mild in more impact, we wanted to at least go to moderate. We can't get it available in a stock in superior impact resistance. We're going to go to moderate impact resistance. What do we end up with? You're saying a 1.6, can we get it to cut out in a 1.6?
It's great for rimless frames. Yeah, this is 0 to +6.
In
2 seal.
Profile.
0 to 8, 2 seals.
Superior optical properties and something.
So on that one we found an option in a 1.6 that would do the job.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so that's good to know. But then we've gone over again to the left eye and we've gone, oh bum, 5 seal. Gonna need to grind that.
Yep.
Okay.
So what did we say, 1.6?
Yep.
Thin material profile, moderately impact resistant, superior optical properties, enhanced peripheral visual clarity, great for rimless frames. That's got an Abbey of 41.
So it's a good option. So we're going to have to grind that one. So yeah, so that one's obviously going to be a grind. But that's what all of those things, you know, when you see those numbers against it, that's what it's all about. You've got to look at the prescription and go, can I, you know, I might like what it says here, but can I actually make it in that? And does it actually have it available? No, it doesn't. Okay, if that's
Plan B.
Plan B, all right. Well, Plan B could be if they were both right and left eye with that eye there. Plan B could have been going, well, let's make it up in a 1.6 stock lens rather than a 1.53 because it's got moderately impact resistance rather than superior. But that's good. It's going to be nice and thin. It's going to be nice and light. It's going to give a pretty good result. I think I'm going to be happy with that one. No, this kid's a real roughhouser and he does dirt bike racing and he's going to wear them all the time and there's going to be something where we just think, oh no, we want the superior impact resistance. I don't care if that one's even a little bit, even if it's a touch thicker than the other one, we want the superior impact resistance. Do we have anywhere to go with that one? No, we don't. The only where's the other option? What's Plan B? Plan B was think about 1.6. We've gone, no, not okay, need more impact resistance. The next option is going to be what? What's Plan C? Exactly. You turned over the page there. Yeah. So you're going to grind. So flick back to the stock, single vision stock. So we worked out we can actually get this lens here, 1.6 stock lens. And we went, right, okay, we've got an option for that. That might be a pretty good option. And how much was that a lens? It was
110.
110. So 220 for a pair. All right, well, you know, impact resistant, light, you know, okay, good. Flip over and say, right, we're going to do it in grind. So we're going, nah, we definitely want it in 153 because we want the most impact resistant material we can have and we're going to have to grind it. But that other one was with an anti-reflection coating or without anti-reflection coating? First option.
What we're doing, 110 was with, yeah, good anti-reflection.
Good anti-reflection properties. Okay, good. Was there another option available? They need fairly good impact resistance means they're probably pretty good, but they might need even a stronger, more scratch resistant lens. So they probably need to go to the superior scratch resistance, don't they? What was that like? Is it available there?
119.
119 in the power ranges were available.
+6 to -6.
All right, so we found an option for about 238 a pair. Okay, all right. Flip over. So we've decided Plan C is no, we don't want to do that. We just want a standard scratch resistant coating. We don't want to worry about all of that. We're going to grind it, and we want 153 because we've decided we want the superior scratch resistance.
So that's 165. So that's yeah.
So it's actually more.
A lot more
330. So you can see sometimes we've got no option. This one here, got no option. We've got to go there.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
But would we end up going, oh yes, for the right eye we're going to use a 1.6 with a superior AR coat, and then go, oh well on the other eye we're going to use a 1.53 grind hard coat?
I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
Why not?
It's
Not
too
to use the
basic.
hard coat.
You know, why would you do hard coat in one? And
Not-
why,
yeah.
why would you do that? What would be the first thing that's going to look?
Distortion.
Oh, I don't know, distortion. It's going to look a bit odd for a start, because one's got an anti-reflection coating so you can
And
see
one
his
hasn't.
eye, and the other one you're seeing all the reflections of it.
Mm.
You just wouldn't.
It'd be weird for
Be
the
weird.
customer.
Yeah.
So if you do get the situation where sometimes will happen, you can grind one eye and you have to do stock in the other,
Yeah.
you've got to make sure you're using the same company
Yeah.
and the same standard of AR coating
Yeah.
and the same material, potentially.
Yeah.
Occasionally you can get away with using different, but you've got to have those other, because if they've got sometimes a different an AR coating from one company might have a slightly greenier bloom and the other one's bluey bloom, and then mum's going, oh,
Especially children, you don't want that sort of look.
no,
I wouldn't
exactly.
have
So,
thought.
so these are all the things that are going on. Now, because I'm doing it all the time and it's second nature to me, when I give you a handover, I'm going, I think we need to use a 153 and I think we'll grind both and we'll do that. I've done all those calculations for you a lot of the time. I've said this is where we want to go.
Thank you
But
very
if you
much.
get out there and the parent goes, oh,
The script is
I
only 6
you know, I
months.
had thick glasses as a child. Can we make sure they're even thinner still?
Oh, once they've bacterium, they've, okay.
Or you know, so they
It
you know
will
they
happen.
it will
Yeah.
happen, or they'll go, oh gee, you know, older sister had glasses and she's just scratched the first pair. Can we just go with the bog, you know, as much basic as possible this first pair, because I know she'll scrap the bejeebers out of it. My other daughter was great once she got onto a second pair, but the first pair had just trashed, and I decided I just want to go a real basic pair for that first one, and I'll get her some good ones in the new year when I've seen that she's looked after it a bit. And you'll need to manage that, because sometimes you'll go, well, I don't want to give them an ugly pair of glasses so the kid won't wear them, because we won't get anywhere then and we'll be going backwards, because this eye needs to learn to see because it's really poor. But you know, you might need to go, okay, well we can go with standard scratch and we'll do this and we'll do that. And that's where interplaying the thicknesses, and sometimes with a plus lens, grinding can sometimes make it a bit thinner, especially with kids. But in a minus lens, grinding never makes it thinner, it makes it thicker. Not by much, but the way they have to work and machine that custom make means the injection mould they can do really quite thin because there's no stresses on the lens. With the in the centre, because they're obviously the minus lenses are thin in the centre. So imagine when the forces that are involved in grinding that, injection mould you can get quite thin, whereas the one where they've had to grind it, they have to leave it a little bit thicker, because otherwise you get bowing and carrying on with the machining of the lens with that fine thickness. So it's often just, you know, 0.1 of a millimetre or 0.2 of a millimetre thicker with a grind in a minus than actually using a stock lens. So with minus we always try and look at stock, okay? Unless the seal power's out of range or it's a prism, we're always going to try and minus, going to use stock, it's going to get better. With plus, once we get into small frames and other things, sometimes we do need to look at grinding, because grinding will still give a thinner result. But again, we'll often look at saying, okay, well, can we use a smaller blank size in a thinner index? You know, can we move to a 1.6 instead, and will that do the job? Okay, because that will be you know, more cost effective for the clients, particularly when little Johnny's going to go through a couple of pairs potentially.
Yep.
So okay, so there are those things, but generally we've made those decisions for you, or at least given, like David may
A
not have.
ballpark.
But I've usually gone, I think we probably need to use it, you know, I know the lens mat pretty well.
Yeah.
So I've generally made it a bit easy for it. With the
Start.
locums or with a new optometrist graduate who starts next year, he's going to be a bit like you, he hasn't necessarily, he's still familiarising himself, so you guys will need to, or a client's coming in and making an inquiry about costing and how much it's going to cost, and this is sort of what they've got before, and you need to try and give a sort of a reasonable estimate of what, you know, and what the difference between this quote and this quote would look like. Okay, so that you'll get better at that, but you can sort of, if we just go back, those numbers there that are on the lens mat have meaning. Even when it comes to grinding, you'll actually notice with this one -525, there are some things on the lens mat there where you go, oh yeah, that seems good, and with certain progressives they'll only can make them to -4.7, some of them -6. So this one here, there might be certain options if that was in a progressive, and this example wasn't, where you go, no, I can't actually make it in that one. The super high customised 4D, I think if we look at that one, I think it's only available to a 4-sit, because they've only done all the calibrations and calculations out to that point, and then after that they lose some of the whiz-bang effects of all of their clever computer algorithms to generate the best possible form of things. Does that make some sense there?
Yes.
So you can
You're
see,
right.
starting to see how all of these factors actually interrelate to actually get the end result for the client. Okay.
Yeah.
However, when we do all of this, we've selected all the lens and all the rest of it. If we select the wrong frame, it doesn't fit well, we don't adjust it on before we send it out to the client as opposed to all the rest of it, you get the right prescription, the right lens choice, a nice thin lens, a good result, the best price available for those combination of features that's in the best interest of the client, and then you don't adjust the frame on correctly and you don't fit and select the frame correctly, and all the work can go out the back door because the client slips and it slides and they can't get it to sit properly and they can't da-da-da-da-da.
So that's where it all
Really,
starts.
really critical to get frame fitting. So we've talked a lot about lenses. Just trying to think what we've covered there. So I think that's probably enough. So we talked a little bit about the lens mat and where these numbers come from.
Yep.
I think what we'll do now is I'll let you go. I'll just pause for a moment. And I'll just